So hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wild Wasteland. This is, as always, I am Dean Maldonado, and waving at me is Michael Johnson.
Hey, what's going on? What's happening?
He's a sleepy boy today. He just woke up from a nap.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I didn't bring him a coffee. I really should have.
Oh man, yeah, that's like my go-to thing now. I just drink coffee.
Oh, you just started finding out that will keep you awake?
No, not for awakeness, but for like that oomph that you get a punch in the face.
Oh, so what you're telling me is that you're
And then I shit
officially
myself.
happily addicted to caffeine.
No, I only have it like once a week. That's not addiction. Is that addiction?
I don't know.
Like, what is addiction?
Do you get jazzed when you think about having it? Do you get really excited and riled up?
I'm a fan of rituals, so like the anticipation, yeah, like doing a ritual, doing anything that's ritualistic, like once a week kind of thing.
I think that's creating a habit.
It's a scheduled habit though.
Yeah,
so
but that's
it's not
still.
like,
I mean, listen.
it's like working out as a habit, or jerking off as a habit, or
it is
shoving remotes up your ass as a habit.
That's an accident. That's when you tripped and fell, and I don't know how that happened. But it's up there, doctor. Can you please get it out?
And they're like, "What did you do?"
I keep changing the channel, and I have Spanish subtitles on. I don't know how to turn them off. I don't have those kind of muscles. My Kegels aren't working.
We're not talking about remotes today. What are we talking about today? You said an American hero?
We are.
One more? Like, we just got done with Marv Heemeyer.
So
American hero, thank you for your service. Now we're on to we should do this like once a month. Like once a month.
A true
American hero story.
I guess that we can try that.
Especially I think it's July right now.
So this is the beginning of the biography of a man who his name is Alex Jordan Jr.
Okay.
He is from Wisconsin. He's from the center of Wisconsin.
Oh, nice.
With the appreciative eye of the gifted sculptor, Alex Jordan knew he could not improve upon the primitive elegance of nature.
Oh.
He decided instead to crown the rock in a manner befitting its majesty. He would make a covenant with nature. He would build a house on the rock. So that's what we're going to be talking about, is the house on the rock.
I like your voiceover that you did there. It's very, it's different. It's not you.
That wasn't me.
I know. You got into a character. We were just talking about this. You got yourself into...
I don't know what
you're
talking about.
Did you feel like...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your face changed a little bit.
What the fuck are you on something? Did you...
There was something in that nap I took.
Did you chug NyQuil to take that nap? And you're still coming down off the heavy doses?
I put like an envelope in front of my eyes. So I was like, I could either get up and turn off the lights, or I could grab this letter.
And you taped it to your face. God, you are really the MacGyver of this place.
Of lazy, behavior.
So, we are talking about this place called the House on the Rock.
Okay.
Which is right near Spring in Wisconsin.
Right next Spring?
It's near Spring.
Is that a city?
Yeah, it's a town.
Oh.
Now, it's kind of about 45 minutes southwest of Madison, Wisconsin.
Good place if you want to be a house on the crack rock. Madison's a nice place. I'm thinking of Milwaukee. Madison's
they both have their issues, but they're both nice places.
Yeah, Milwaukee's more, or Madison. I don't know what the fuck. Are we talking about Madison? It's more like a meth type area than a crack type area. A little bit hoity-toity.
Yeah, no. There's actually, if anything, Madison's more opioid and heroin.
Yeah, you're right. That is the nicer drug.
That's definitely. It's not nicer. I mean, they have a lot of homeless people.
It comes in jars.
When I was there the time previously to 2 days ago. I saw a homeless man who I had seen many times on trips before that.
Yeah.
He has a a hummingbird, a full color hummingbird tattooed on his right cheek. So, hey, if you're listening, random homeless man in Madison, Wisconsin with a hummingbird on your right cheek, hi.
Did you promote the podcast now?
No, I didn't. We weren't running it at that point. But I was enamored by the fact that he was ballsy enough to get not only a full hummingbird,
but on his right ass cheek.
No, on his face.
Oh, he's like the Mike Tyson of hummingbird tattoos?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But it's in full color. I was like, that must have fucking hurt, you know?
And it costs a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, and you're homeless, and you smoke cigarettes all day. What do you do?
He gets tattoos of hummingbird colored in his face.
Maybe he used to be a tattoo artist, then when he did that, nobody trusted him. So that he got no more clients.
I feel like that would grow more trust. You're like, wait, you did that to yourself? That's pretty fucking impressive.
But so that was how the biography of Alex Jordan Jr. starts. If you buy the biography, they sell
the
at
homeless
the gift
guy?
shop. No, fuck off with the homeless guy. Forget him. We're not talking about him. This is not about him. This is about Alex Jordan in the House on the Rock.
I thought that was Alex Jordan.
Jesus Christ, Michael. Get your head in the game.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about Alex Jordan.
Thank
Okay.
you. Alex Jordan Jr.
Jordan Jr., okay.
You don't have to keep saying Jr. I'll keep saying it, but you don't have to.
I'll just call him Junior. I think
Just
him
call
and
him
I have a
Alex.
connect. Nah, fuck that. Hey, Junior.
All right, fine. You can call him Junior. So that's the one they sell at the House on the Rock. And it's slightly incorrect.
What?
And I mean,
how could how could a biography be incorrect? Come on. There's no such
well,
thing.
you know, I mean, they can embellish on things lightly, and they can
Okay.
skip over some negative aspects. But you know, it's as slightly incorrect as a woman would be slightly disappointed if you got down on one knee and pulled out like a ring pop. You know?
It's still romantic.
Yeah, but she'd be a little disappointed. You know?
Yeah, but it's like that's the biggest rock I've ever seen, and you put it on. We're getting married.
Yeah, and then ants start crawling all over her
That's just
because
our
they want to
kids.
get at the sugar.
You said you wanted pets.
But we'll get to Alex Jordan's life a little bit later.
Oh,
Firstly, let's talk about the House on the Rock.
yeah. Let's talk about this house.
So there's a tourist attraction in Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's a massive house connected to a complex of other houses. I mean, there are other rooms. They're giant rooms.
I was about to say a little misleading. It should be the houses on the rock or the mansion.
No, only
on the
one
rock.
house is on the rock.
Okay.
The rest of it is like beneath it in this forest that is on land that they didn't really own.
Okay.
They
They just built.
just
like-
built shit there.
Yeah, that's the American dream. Just build some shit that isn't even your property.
Yeah. It's filled with insane rooms, a bunch of artifacts, tons of guns, and ridiculous collections of things.
I already like it. The hoarder part of me, the gun loving part of me.
Yeah,
I'm all
it
for
really
this.
is. It's a gun-loving hoarder's dream.
Oh,
It touts having the world's largest carousel. Which
hey, that's
has-
pretty good.
Yeah, it has 269 different carousel animals,
Okay.
182 chandeliers, and is lit with over 20,000 lights. This thing
Jesus
is
Christ.
fucking massive.
Can you ride it?
No, you can't.
Oh.
You're not allowed to ride it. You can watch it, but you can't ride it.
What's your favorite animal on the carousel? Is it
Honestly,
like a
it
unicorn.
so it's weird because when you go and you look at it, like the harder the closer you look, the stranger it is.
Oh,
Like
Like-
at first you're like, oh, that's just a lion. Oh, it's a seahorse. Oh, it's a zebra.
yeah.
And you start looking closer and you're like, that's not. It's the back of a zebra and the face of a wolf,
Ooh.
or like it's the back of a seahorse and then it turns into a unicorn, or like it's a zebra person, or it's a lion person. It was just like crazy weird
I like
carousel
those.
animals.
Yeah.
I
I like mixing them up.
I mean, the house is it's truly incredible. It's on top of a rock formation called Deer Shelter Rock,
Okay.
which is a column of rock measuring 60 feet by 70 feet by 200 feet
up?
up.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't 3 dimensions hard.
Hard. Bah. It has on the house, it has this thing called the Infinity Room, which juts out 218 feet off the side of the house with no support underneath it.
Oh shit. That's
And
crazy.
has its walls
Yeah.
are actually made of 3,264 individual windows.
Oh man, that's either a lot of big windows or a lot of
It's
small
a lot of
windows.
really, really small windows.
Oh, okay.
But it's nuts.
Yeah.
Like when the breeze comes hard enough, you can feel it sway.
Oh my god, that has to be terrifying.
And it comes out to this point. We're going to put a bunch of photos of this on our
Because
Facebook
you
page.
actually went there.
I went there. Yeah. I was there a couple days ago.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it, is because he wants it as a write-off. He's like, I spent $15 there, Mike. Can you compensate me? We'll do an episode about it.
I spent a lot more.
He's like, I spent $115,000.
No, it was like $60 for
60.
2 ultimate experiences, which is all 3 sectors.
First of all,
And it comes with coins to operate the things.
no, we'll compensate you for you. Well, we're not going to compensate for your girlfriend. What the fuck? 2 people? No, that doesn't count.
She was the one taking the pictures. I was the one taking the notes.
Oh, great. Now she's a photographer. Everyone's a photographer. All
Yeah,
right.
she's on Fiverr. She's real. She's freelance.
I was thinking about going on Fiverr.
It also has this thing called the Streets of Yesterday.
Oh,
which,
the Infinity, though. Like, that's really cool.
no,
Like,
I know. We can talk. What else do you want to know about it?
I don't know. Like, at the end, and it looked like
Well,
it
yeah.
was
So it comes
infinite.
out. It comes
Yeah.
out to a point, and on the outside, it looks like a big, like kind of like needle sticking off of it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And on the inside, if you look straight down, he made it into an optical illusion where the room actually, in reality, it gets smaller.
Yeah.
But what that does, it makes it look like it's longer, and then it continues on until it's kind of you can't see it anymore.
I love those.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool optical illusion.
3D art.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
And he has the Streets of Yesterday, which is a life-size recreation of a 19th century village.
Okay.
I mean, it has like an apothecarium, it has a barber, it has a firehouse with an engine in it, like, and a full-size Dalmatian just like sitting there. It also has the music of yesterday,
Oh.
which houses the world's greatest collection of automated musical machines.
Okay.
So it's basically computerized, automated little levers that play these instruments. That there's thousands and thousands of instruments in this one room, like nailed to the wall, and it plays them all and makes music when someone puts in the token. It's fucking insane. It's also very, very, very dark.
Uh-huh.
There aren't many lights, and the path is like crazy. The path winds through, goes up and down, comes back and goes forth. So it doesn't really seem to make any sense.
Yeah, it's everything that you've explained and the pictures that you've shown me just seem like the crazy rambles of like a madman. If I had money,
It really
this is what I would-
was.
yeah.
Now, supposedly, this is based on that same same biography.
Yeah.
In the early 50s, Alex Jordan Jr., being a self-taught artist and genius tinkerer from Madison. I would love to have that as my title, to be a professional tinkerer.
Yeah, like it doesn't make it's kind of contradicting itself.
You're very good at tinkering with machines, you know?
Like no one's a professional tinkerer. Like
he's
tinker,
a genius tinkerer.
you take things apart and you fuck with it. That's what a tinkerer is. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, he's the best tinkerer in the world. It's like the best guy that took apart a car.
So he decided to build a cozy and rustic studio atop a stone pinnacle called Deer Shelter Rock. He then climbs the rock day after day with basket full of stones and other building materials slung over his shoulders.
This is an autobiography?
No. It's a biography.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy
Must have been in love with him. I honestly, I took some words out. Like it was like over.
Oh wow, there's more adjectives. Like
yeah, it was like it slung over his brawny shoulders. After years of hard work, he single-handedly completes his spectacular house. In 1959, he couldn't keep people away, so he started charging a fee to enter the house and see what he had made.
This is like North Korea style propaganda.
Yeah, that's entirely a myth.
Like he had to bat away the women after they wanted to fellatio his penis.
I don't know who would be that man.
I would never write that about another man in my entire fucking life. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Your
right?
house sucks.
Oh no, it's beautiful. Go there.
Well,
so,
it's cool now because he's dead.
Now that is totally a myth. Truly, the house was not begun as an artistic adventure by Alex Jordan Jr.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a scam. It started off as a scam. Like,
Well, no, so in
he's
fact,
building something else on someone else's fucking property to begin with.
In fact, it was started by Alex Jordan Sr.
Oh my God! See,
in an effort to spite Frank Lloyd Wright.
now who the fuck is Frank Lloyd Wright?
Yeah. So we'll backtrack lightly. Frank Lloyd Wright was an American architect who designed more than 1,000 structures,
Okay.
and of those 1,000, 532 were completed. Which that's insane.
Wait, say it again. So
he designed architects are known a lot for their designs as well as they are for their actual structures that are completed.
yeah,
And he made more than 1,000 designs.
Right.
He taught lectures. He wrote books, and 532 of his designs were actually completed, which is insane.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Most our architects don't see their projects through fruition because they usually die, like the Manhattan Queensbridge, Manhattan Bridge. I want to say Eiffel Tower too. I think he died right before it was finished too.
But
was he like did he like Frank Lloyd Wright? I don't know him that well.
Well,
Is he based on Fountain Pen or anything or Fountainhead?
Well, so he's from that area, and actually his studio is in that exact area. It's where he lived. It was near his ranch. There's a lot of his buildings out there. There's a lot of structures out in that area of Wisconsin that were built by him. There's one down near University of Chicago. There's a house that actually is considered to be his best structure of all time.
That little house that's still up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little tiny house in the South Loop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a Frank Lloyd Wright. And so now he was no saint. Okay.
Hopefully not.
He was known to be very, very hypercritical of any work that he didn't personally design.
Oh, he's just an asshole.
Yeah, he's just an asshole.
He's like, no, I can definitely do better comedy than that comedian.
Yeah.
I got 30 more minutes better than him.
But at the same time, he also is pumping out like world-class shit. Like he is known as one of the best architects of all time.
And like his badass shit are just like, yeah, it's okay shit.
No, it's badass. It like broke a lot of rules. It like it really kind of changed the way that people thought about how you could design a home and design structures.
He was testing the limits. He was thinking outside the bun.
Kind of. He was just doing it in his style very consistently and very beautifully.
Okay.
Which that's like a key feature of an architect, you know?
And Junior's father did not like him at all. He's like, fuck Frank Lloyd Wright. I can design something better. I got an infinity stone.
Better than that. So the story goes, Alex Jordan Sr. was a small-time real estate developer and builder in Madison who went to Wright to show him some plans for a project that he was going to do in Madison.
Oh, so knowing that he's hypercritical, he was like, these suck. These are the worst I've ever seen.
Honestly, better than that.
Oh, my God.
Wright looked at the designs and said, this is a quote, "I wouldn't hire you to design a cheese crate nor a chicken coop.
Wow.
You're not capable."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. That's like taking off a white glove and slapping them in the face. Like you don't know whether to be more insulted or injured. You know, you're like, that actually kind of stings, but at the same time,
I kind of want to shoot him, to be honest.
Fuck you.
Milk crate, seriously, bro? Like, I think I can design...
Cheese crate.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Not even a milk crate.
So rightfully angry, Alex Sr. vowed to build a house on top of one of the rock spires right near Frank Lloyd Wright's estate as a way of getting back at him. He designed the house in like a folksy version of Wright's classic architectural styling.
Okay.
With like a strong Japanese influence. Mostly on like the roofs.
No, I like that. Like folksy, like a little bit of party in the bottom, but professional on the top. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of like the difference between like a mullet and a good haircut.
So yeah, like he's got like a nice haircut. He's wearing like a suit jacket, but underneath he's got like overalls and flip flops
and a kimono
on.
still. And actually, he did not build it by himself.
Oh,
Alex Sr.
Of course, yeah.
So Alex Sr. went to the guy who owned the land that the rock was on and was like, "Hey, I want to build like a gazebo." I want to build like a small little shack on top of there.
Little.
Would you mind?
Yeah, gazebo. That's fine. I mean, there's nothing. It's just like a shack, right? You're just gonna keep some like.
Yeah. I just want to go up there and be able to draw. And
Okay, all right. Nothing wrong with that.
maybe a rope ladder coming down. Who
You
knows?
weren't gonna build like a giant mansion up there with like a bunch of guns and carousels or anything.
No.
Infinity.
No.
Bridge?
No.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
And so he went to that guy and was like, "Yeah, let me just build this thing up there." And the guy was like, "Yeah, fine." And so he started the house. He like blew off the top of the mountain.
with like dynamite.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to like level.
I don't know. Like
You
a
have to
nuclear
level something
bomb.
to
Like how
build
do
it.
He's
Nah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna build a gazebo. He's like hauling dynamite up there. Like how? Wait.
Well, the guy was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I need to flatten the land to build on. Otherwise, it's gonna fall." He's like, "Oh, makes sense."
Who is
And,
this? Do we know
I mean,
who this
it was-
chucklehead is?
It was in the fucking like 30s.
It's like you're.
This was back in like the 1930s in the middle of Wisconsin. Okay, in the middle of a field that was on like the very back end lot property of a farmer's land. Like he doesn't give a shit about this land. Okay.
Okay. All right.
But it's like 10 miles away from Frank Lloyd Wright's house.
So he can see it.
Yeah.
Like it'd be
It's
even
on top of a fucking mountain.
It'd be funny if Senior was hanging out with Frank Lloyd Wright, and he's like, "That mountain over there, that's my favorite mountain to look at from my house 10 miles away. I love the peaks."
Yeah. Well, so
Like, oh, yeah?
he did not build it himself. He started the house with day laborers who allegedly he recruited with promises of free liquor.
Hey, that's Wisconsin fucking currency.
And
Yeah.
and he kind of like fell off the radar there. And Alex Jr. did end up coming up and designing it and helped with constructing different parts of the house. And actually, Frank Lloyd Wright tried to get back at Alex Jordan Sr. and Jr., and he bought the land right next to the house, trying to block it from like any main road to make it really difficult to get to.
That's what happened with Marv Heemeyer. They bought the fucking property
Yeah, exactly.
around his property
They
so he
tried to
couldn't build a
encircle him.
road.
Yeah.
This guy's a prick. This guy's Frank Lloyd Wright is lucky that they didn't have a bulldozer back then
Yeah.
with concrete.
I mean, wouldn't it be nice if that was a true story as well?
What?
It's not.
Oh, that's fake too?
Yeah.
Wait, so
that
so
story.
he didn't blow up the mountain?
No,
Or
he did. He totally did.
Okay, because that's the only part I like.
Honestly, the whole gazebo and the farmer is actually true.
Okay.
But the majority, the Frank Lloyd Wright kind of feud,
Like romanticism is not
the
true.
feud was a story that was made up by a man named Sid Boyum,
Oh my god.
who actually won this competition in 1976 that gave him the medal, and I have the picture right here if you'd like to see it.
Okay.
Making him a world champion liar of 1976.
World champion. Okay, you're showing me the picture now. Okay. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Is that the lie? Like he won. There's no way that this is a competition.
No, that was the
there's-
lie that he used, and it got very famous.
Wait,
So
there's a lying competition?
yeah, there's a lie. It's in England. It happens every year.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who won it recently, but there's some people who are really, really fucking good at it right now. There's like a couple 7-time, 8-time winners right now.
Jesus Christ, this is like the Olympics.
Yeah,
We'll probably talk about that some other time. But,
we will. We can almost do a whole puffery episode on it. But so what really happened, and this took a lot of digging, but I finally found out what really happened.
Okay, finally. So the truth.
So Alex Jordan Sr., he
Okay.
was a very failed businessman.
Obviously, he couldn't even design a cheese coop.
Yeah, exactly. He really was not good at doing anything.
He's like, you're an idiot. Maybe your son is a good architect, but you, sir, are stupid.
And so he actually was convicted of extortion in 1939 for running a blackmail scheme.
Oh,
Now, this blackmail scheme is fucking hilarious, okay?
okay. Let's
He
hear about
He
it.
would have his girlfriend seduce married men, and then he would take pictures on infrared film
Yeah.
and told them to pay $300 or he'll develop it and send it to their families.
Jesus Christ. This is
And-
1939?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
Which
what,
today
like
is
$5-6 grand
it's about $5,500. It's like
Jesus.
5,515 and some change
for adultery.
Yeah.
or potential adultery.
And shockingly, he gets caught.
Oh, like the first guy.
Yeah, literally was the first guy called the police instead of paying him the $300, and they arrested him for extortion.
And they're like, what was your plan there? I was gonna tell him that his wife that he was trying to have sex with this woman.
And so he, at that point, had already like leveled part of the mountain and like started building lightly, and kind of like left it for his son to work on.
Yeah,
and he went to jail.
Okay.
And I couldn't find out how long he was in jail for, but once he got out, he saw how great of a job his son had done on the house so far.
He really built up that gazebo. He's like, all right, son, I'm gonna go do this thing with your mother. You just build the gazebo. That's all I want you to do. Just build a gazebo.
It wasn't even his mother. It's like, I'm going to do this thing with Betsy. He's like, which one's Betsy? He's like, the ginger. Which ginger? The smaller one. Oh, okay.
The one that likes extorting men with me.
Yeah, have fun. So his dad then forced him to open it to the public because because the thing is that when he was building it, like a lot of people would come and watch because they put an electric lift up there and they were like really building a massive house on top of a huge fucking rock in the middle of the woods.
And it was probably the biggest thing that happened in Wisconsin since the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, which they barely even saw any of.
Yeah.
They're so far north.
Okay.
They're
building a new thing up in a mountain.
Yeah, let's go watch.
Yeah.
And so his dad was like, all right, there's all these crowds of people. You got to charge them money. Let them in, let them come see what you made.
Yeah.
And his Junior was like, I don't know. Junior was a very shy man.
Oh.
They actually said that he was very similar to Howard Hughes, who was like the recluse billionaire.
Yeah. The basis of what's it called? That one movie.
Yeah.
It's very famous. The best movie in the world. I completely blanking out on.
Glad you are. So he forced him to open it to the public, and legend even tells of Alex Jordan Sr. standing outside at the gate with a paper bag collecting the entrance fee of like a nickel.
Oh, and wow.
It was a nickel, and then they went to a quarter, and then they went to eventually 2 quarters.
3 quarters, $4.
No. So Alex Sr. died in the early 60s.
Oh, man.
Which left Junior to do whatever he wanted. And he wanted to make the house bigger. So he took all the profit and put it into the house and expanded, making a number of buildings beneath the house on like that general estate.
Do you know what the original house was?
What do you mean?
Before they started expanding?
Yeah, it was the one that's on the rock. It's the only thing that's on the rock.
Oh. Okay.
Everything else is like, so you go up a very long ramp.
Yeah.
That takes you up this like 200-foot rock.
Okay.
And then you go around the house and you go back down that same ramp, and then you go to all these other buildings that are beneath it, which is where like the parking lot is and shit like that.
I thought it was like a Winchester Mansion thing, where it was just like, do you know anything about the Winchester Mansion?
I've been there.
Yeah. Okay.
Twice.
Yeah, because she went crazy and she just kept building more and more.
She wasn't
and more
crazy.
And more.
She was justified in building.
And
they still build.
She was afraid of ghosts.
They still build to this day.
No, they don't. They stop.
They don't expand, but they do build.
Yeah.
They still build to this day. I'm not kidding.
I don't think that that's true.
No, it is.
Like, who's paying for this?
Her grandchildren.
Her grandchildren are just as fucking nuts.
They continue doing it. Whatever. Well, that's for a different time. We're talking about the house on the rock.
The next
here, okay?
American hero.
So he decided to make it bigger. He wanted to expand to a number of buildings, and then he filled those buildings with like a shit ton of these collections, which I was telling you about earlier. And it was a fucking gold mine. By 1977, he was making $97,000 a year strictly off of the quarters that people put into the music machines.
Oh my God. I wish I was making that much now.
That's not even entrance.
Yeah, no, that's like free money. The government's not even tracking it.
Literally, it's like as if he was pulling that out of wishing wells on his property.
How much did he have any wishing wells?
No.
what an idiot. He lost out.
No, that's gaudy.
Put a wishing well in there, put a few scuba divers in there.
So in 1978, after, the taxes were showing how much money he was making, the authorities came poking their heads around.
The IRS, typical fucking government, let me tell you. Oof, give this man a bulldozer.
And they found that he had labeled a lot of the artifacts in there as authentic, and they were recreations that were done by artists in town.
Is that illegal?
I mean, if someone's paying for it and they think they're seeing that, I guess it's false advertising, whatever.
What the fuck?
So they forced him to take those signs down, and he had to pay a fine. Those greedy bastards.
What? Like, why? Why a fine? Like, who's he hurting?
I mean, I don't know. He's tricking people.
These dumb fucking yokels up in Wisconsin. What the fuck do they know about it? Huh?
Dude, people come from around the world to see this place.
These dumb yokels from everywhere.
There's millions of visitors a year.
Yeah. Well,
so now we get to Mr. Tom Every.
Okay.
Which I love Tom Every. He's also known as Dr. Evermore.
Okay.
So Sid, our favorite liar, introduced Tom and Alex Jr. Because Alex Jr. is looking for local tinkerers.
I thought he was a genius tinkerer. What does he need more?
He was. Well, he has so much property and so many places to fill.
I need more tinkerers.
I need more tinkerers. I need more people to fucking build. And he did. And so Sid introduced the two, and Tom started helping him build parts of House on the Rock. And he said it was the happiest. Tom said it was the happiest part of his life. He even named himself Dr. Buildmore.
See, I like this. I like this too.
So Dr. Buildmore was primarily known for he was the one who created the world's largest carousel and the organ room, which is that like weird winding red room that I showed you earlier.
All the pictures are on the Facebook page.
They will be. Now
at Wild Podcast.
Mm-hmm. Now the two eventually had a falling out. And originally some say it was because Dr. Buildmore actually had a barbecue stand on the property that he would sell barbecue during the middle of the day.
Junior doesn't like you making money.
No. And so Junior was like, hey, let's put that inside the food court and we'll split the profits on the money. And they were like, no, fuck you. And then they broke up. But in all actuality...
What, that isn't true?
No.
Oh.
That's what people thought initially. And then it turned out that Dr. Buildmore didn't pay his subcontractors. So when the IRS came in knocking, Alex Jr. just cut all ties from him.
Yeah, I would too. That's not a good look.
So Tom Every then lost his family home, and he spent some time in jail.
What the fuck?
And Dr. Buildmore died in jail.
Oh.
Dr. Evermore was born.
Oh.
Now, Dr. Evermore, who is Tom Every, just so you know. It's like just a different persona.
This is a wild story.
I know. So Dr. Evermore built a massive structure out of... No. This is after he got released. This is in the 80s.
Okay, he's reborn. The Phoenix is right.
So he got out of jail. He went back to his property, which is about an hour north of the House on the Rock.
Yeah.
And became Dr. Evermore and started building this thing that he eventually labels a Forevertron. Now, the Forevertron is a massive structure built out of two Edison dynamos from the 1880s, lightning rods, high voltage components from 1920s power plants, scrap metal from the Badger Army ammunition plant, and the decontamination chamber from the actual Apollo 11 spacecraft.
Wow.
It is actually in the Guinness Book of World Record as the largest scrap metal sculpture in the world.
Talk about folk art.
Now, according to Tom Avery, Dr. Evermore is a Victorian inventor who designed the Forevertron to launch himself, quote, into the heavens on a magnetic lightning force beam.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't know. I don't even know what's going on here.
Here we go.
So he's like made up a lie about a guy from like 100 years ago or something?
No. That is... So Tom Every is Dr. Evermore.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
But he says that Dr. Evermore, that person,
Himself.
that persona, is a Victorian inventor who designed the Forevertron for a specific purpose.
This is in the 1980s.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, according to Dr. Evermore, the job of the Forevertron, this massive fucking sculpture.
Yeah. Is to launch people into space.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Here's a picture of it.
Okay.
That's a Forevertron.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I thought a Forevertron would look like.
Yeah, pretty much what you thought it would look like. There's a giant like egg capsule. There's
Vaguely carousel-esque.
Yeah, there's a viewing platform attached that's like a T gazebo.
Okay.
So
More gazebos in this fucking thing.
This is a different place.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, this is insane. It's like, let me rebuild the place that I worked at. Just shittier.
No, it's honestly, people think this is a better piece of art than the House on the Rock.
Art-wise, but like definitely the house is definitely cooler. It's got like a lot more stuff going on than just a guy's janky carousel next to a gazebo.
So according to Dr. Evermore, the job of the Forevertron is to generate a magnetic lightning force beam that will catapult him into the celestial sphere after, quote, dewatering himself in the machine's gravitron, which was a repurposed full-body fluoroscope. Dr. Evermore would fire up the Forevertron's motors and thrusters, climb into its streamlined crystalline egg capsule, and blast off for a rendezvous with God. In addition to the Forevertron itself, there is a T gazebo from which, and this is a quote from him.
Okay, we're listening.
Queen Victoria and Prince Albert may observe the launching of Dr. Evermore. It also includes a giant telescope where skeptics may observe the ascent. So,
None of that even makes any sense.
So, in fact, it actually is. It's 50 feet tall, 120 feet wide.
Oh my God!
And weighs 300 tons.
Jesus Christ!
However, it was designed to be able to be relocated, so all of it is connected. They're all made in big sections that are connected by bolts and pins, so he can move it to his intended place. To turn on the Forevertron.
Jesus Christ.
And around there, he also did a bunch of other sculptures, such as like the celestial listening ear.
Oh, I like this. This is like goofy shit from like Futurama.
And
like the professor would invent.
Yeah. So
what was the like you could hear planets or something?
No, it was actually it was so you could listen.
That's pretty ridiculous. It looks like something at a Earthworm Jim.
It was so that you could listen to the celestial sphere and hear when he was having a conversation with God.
Oh, it's all.
It was for tracking him after he blasted off.
How arrogant, or whatever the word would be.
Now, so American
Gods.
Yeah, so the House on the Rock.
Yeah.
Going back to this, the House on the Rock actually got a really big boost in popularity. And now, when I was up in Wisconsin, everyone and their sister was like, "Oh, House on the Rock! I haven't been there since I was a kid." Like, it's a big family tourist attraction. Like, people bring their children.
Cute.
It's fun. It's really cool.
It's like a lot of like.
It's also a lot of things to like look at. It's a great place for them to run around.
There's music. There's like dolls and shit.
Mm-hmm.
There's guns.
But I mean, it got a really big boost because it was on American Gods. Now, not really when the book came out, even though the book does talk about them going there.
Yeah, but nobody fucking reads. So. I was reading about this. What the yokels that are going there now? They might not have been yokels back in the day, but they're yokels today.
That's fair, and they're only watching TV.
Yeah, they only watch TV.
And the Starz show American Gods has 2 episodes that take place inside the actual House on the Rock.
Wow, I never seen the show. Are they good episodes?
Fantastic.
Okay.
And it's a meeting place for gods.
That's just gotta. Is Junior still alive?
No, Junior's dead.
Okay, thank God.
Dr. Evermore is actually in the hospital currently, and they're wondering what's going to happen to all of his property when he dies.
They just get scrapped. They just get thrown back in the scrap pile.
Well, no, because a year before Alex Jordan Jr. died,
they made it like a national monument or something.
He sold it to a guy who owns a bunch of parts of Wisconsin Dells.
Mm.
And so that guy just owns it and runs it.
some greasy businessman, just like some
Probably.
sleazy piece of shit.
So-
Hopefully that other guy gets better. What's his name again? He's sick right now.
Oh, Tom Every?
Yeah, hopefully he gets better.
Prayers to him, I guess.
Wild Wasteland.
We
Thumbs
love-
up. Hopefully you live.
Thumbs up, Dr. Evermore. So inside the episode, I got a couple great quotes. I love it because what they're talking about, and a lot of what American God's about, is the fact that gods retain their strength by people believing in them and people worshiping them.
That makes sense.
And so when asked why they came to a house in the rock, Odin, in the episode who goes by Wednesday, he says that this is a place where people come to look and play and wonder. The intro for it was fantastic. It goes, 60 years ago, Alex Jordan began to build a house on a high spot of rock in a field he did not even own. And even more, he could not have told you why. And people came to see him build it, the curious, the puzzled, and those who were neither. They could not honestly have told you why they came. So he did what any sensible American male of his generation would do. He began to charge them money.
Exactly.
Nothing much, a quarter, a nickel. And so he kept building, and the people kept coming. And he took those nickels and quarters, and he made something even bigger and stranger. He filled the land beneath the house with things for people to see, and they came. Millions of them every year. The show actually does bring up the rivalry theory when this one African god walks in and says, apparently this house, the houses in this area were built by some skinny white motherfucker named Frank Lloyd Wright. Some say his evil twin brother built this one. Frank Lloyd wrong.
Oh,
Another skinny white motherfucker.
This is riveting.
And so they go on the carousel, which they reference as a prayer wheel that goes round and round, accumulating power, gazed
Normal
upon
people
by
aren't
the
allowed
faithful.
on it, so that's pretty crazy.
Well, it's gazed upon by the faithful.
Yeah.
They stand there in awe and wonder. You know.
So wait, when you went there, did you get a lot of like, oh man, I gotta start believing in Odin?
No. But I mean, I was staring at that fucking thing for, God, I don't even know how long. Seemed like time stood still.
Were you high?
Yeah.
You like covered in CBD oil or something? Like,
Yeah, I totally just bathed myself in it. No.
you're just like looking at it like, whoa,
But
this is fucking nuts, dude. It's like an alien.
yeah, no, the show is very fun. It references, so when Wednesday and the main character Shadow were talking, Wednesday says, so over the centuries, people in other countries felt called to places of power. They knew there was an energy there, a focus point or a channel, a window to the imminent, and they would build churches, cathedrals, or, they'd erect stone circles, or, well, you get the idea.
Yeah.
And Shadow goes, well, yeah, but there's churches all through the States. He goes, no, in the good old USA, people still heed the call of the transcendent void. But they respond to it by building a model out of beer bottles of somewhere they've never visited, or by erecting a giant bat house in some part of the country that bats have traditionally declined to visit. And Shadow responds with, or they sell t-shirts and hot dogs. Yes, roadside attractions. That is, where they buy that hot dog and they buy that t-shirt. And then they wander around feeling satisfied on a level they cannot truly describe, and profoundly dissatisfied on a level beneath that.
Wow.
Which was very true.
Because you went to the Mustard Museum right before you went there.
I did, and it was very fun.
Was there hot dogs there?
No, but we tried this fucking Grim Reaper the Grim Reaper pepper mustard.
Ooh. Yeah.
With chunks of Grim Reaper pepper in it. Oh my god!
What is the Grim Reaper one? Is that worse than habanero or ghost or what? I don't
It's
even know.
It's hotter than Ghost. It's like a lot hotter than Ghost.
Like 9 billion Scovilles.
Oh, it was so hot. My mouth and stomach burned for like 40 minutes. My lips started burning. And I was like, how? It didn't even touch my lips. It was insane. But yeah, so listen, that was the crazy story of not only the House on the Rock, but the feud between Frank Lloyd Wright, and also the spat between Alex Jr. and Tom Every to create the Forevertron.
That's crazy, and also like modern influences that this that the House on the Rock leaves to this day. With
Yeah. Now, wasn't that a fun little story about a wild little part of the country right in our backyard?
Right in where we might be. You
We
never
might
know.
be.
Yeah,
You can't
in the
tell.
desert.
We're in somewhere.
Somewhere out here. But that was fucking awesome. Yeah, that was crazy. I wasn't expecting all that. The Forevertron seems cool. I thought it was, when you showed me the picture, I was like, oh, that's like a dinky little thing.
No, it's
like,
massive.
It's like 100 feet wide, you said, and like 50 feet tall.
Mm-hmm. Like 300 tons.
Yeah, if he's about to die, though, not to
He should just do it.
Yeah, just see
turn
what
it
happens.
on. Like, fucking what
could go wrong?
Using Thomas Edison's 1880 coils.
Yeah,
and mixed with 1920s power components. I think that will be good.
He's probably like, send me in the Forevertron. And this family's like, no, Grandpa,
We're just going to put you on happy pills in this assisted living home.
No, this is miserable. This is awful. Send me to hell.
Get me Queen Victoria and Prince Albert for sipping tea and watching me fly.
Turn it on. It's always been on.
Dr. Evertron is leaving. That'd be awesome.
Mike, and he drops the mic, and he just, and it actually works. And we're like,
yeah.
what the
And they watch
fuck?
him on the telescope, and they listen to him in the celestial listening thing. They're like, he did it. He did it. He really did it.
The fuck, dude? He had it the whole time. He was a genius tinkerer after all.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next Wednesday for the next Wild Wasteland.
Wild Wasteland Wednesday, huh?
Wild Wednesday, my friend. As always, stay vigilant and stay wild.
Yeah.
And send us any of your topics if you want us to do a little bit of a deep dive on them.
Yeah, and don't forget one last thing, right? One last piece.
Oh, God.
You should go fuck yourself.
God damn it. I thought it was going to be helpful.